Welcome back, beautiful people. Today, we are talking about arrow fletching. Okay, let's get right into it. First off, most important part, you're going to need a beverage. Cold would be preferred. Makes it much better. Let's get in close. Let's do some explaining, show you what we're dealing with here. Let's do it. So first up, we have the OMP October Mountain Products Fletching Jig. This jig was new for last year, I believe. Maybe even 2 years ago. They just never shipped. But I was able to get my hands on one a couple weeks ago. And let me show you some features. Okay, first off, what we're dealing with is a 3 setting type of situation. So 120 is your normal 3 fletch, 90 degrees is your normal 4 fletch, 75-105 is, this would be a normal 90 degree, 75-105 is like this. So that way, instead of your fletchings being up higher, it lowers them down and you can bring your scope housing lower down to your arrow shaft. So you can get usually about 10 yards worth of extra distance. Next thing we got is, right here as you guys can see, we have numbers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be your helical. So right now, I have it set at 3 degrees to the left, because this would be straight. When I move this, it turns it to the left. So you also have to have the left helical clamp for doing that. I do have the right, but just about all modern bows shoot a left helical anymore. So if you got to choose one, I'd definitely go with the left helical. So the last thing we got to talk about is our alignment system. So depending on your diameter of arrow, you may have to loosen these 2 screws right here and slide this whole apparatus back or forth just to make sure that the entire vane is contacting the arrow. So let's show you how to use it. So first step, get your arrow with your nock, and this one I'm not going to be real fussy about, but as you can see on these Victory arrows, they are spine aligned. Usually I tend to have the nock straight up and in line with that spine align. That means that when I fletch them, the spine align will all be in the same. I like to run it up. The next thing you're going to want to do is, when you put it in here, make sure you're not off to the side like that. There is a little cone in there that you want to make sure your arrow's sitting right in the middle and pressed all the way in. Next step, grab your clamp, feel on the inside. If it's brand new, you don't have to do this, but just make sure there's no glue from the last time you used it. Then grab your fletching and you are going to slide it in. And I have mine marked. That's where I like to have my fletchings. Honestly, accuracy wise, I don't think it matters a whole lot unless you change like 2 or 3 inches. This is just to make sure that it's not going to contact your face anywhere. So that's what we got there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some of our glue. This is the UVCA glue. I really like this glue a lot. It sticks really well. It does come with a primer pen. Not gonna lie, I don't use it and I have fantastic luck. The only thing is that you can see, for some reason, every single glue bottle I've had, it leaks. And I'm a little worried we'll have glue today, but if not, we got backup. We're gonna take our glue. We're going to do about 3 dots, about 1/4 inch long. One on the end, one in the middle, one not quite to the end, something like that. Now that does, I mean, you can do it your own way. I've seen it done 100 different ways. That's just what I like to do. Then take your tip and run it through the glue to make sure that you got an even coating along that whole vein. Then just look at it, see if there's any air pockets. This one looks good. We're going to clamp it on. We're going to butt the back end of the clamp into this aluminum piece, and we're going to slide it down. Make sure our vein's got good contact. Now, you don't have to hold this down with this clamp because the magnets are way better than the Bitzenberger, but I like to just because it dries instantly anyways. Then you're going to get your UV light, and you're just going to go right along where you fletched. Just right along that vein. You don't have to get real fussy with this. I like to go back and forth about 3-4 times. Just like that. Pull the clamp off. Take your knob over here on the end. Rotate it once. Put your other vein on. Now, we're going to do that same exact thing a few more times. So, line up our fletching with that same line. Take your glue, about 3 dots-ish. 1, 2, 3. Smooth it out. Make sure that all that fletching, I don't know if you'd call it the base probably, or the foot of the fletching is fully coated. Put it on there. Make sure you're pushed all the way in and clicked into a setting. Slide it down. Press it down. Hold it for a couple seconds. Take your glue and shine it all the way along this vein. Just like so. Shaboom. Now that's our second fletching. Third fletching, we're going to do this one a lot different. First step is the same. We're going to put it in here, line it up with our line. Now this is the most important part. What you're going to actually do is on this, you're going to take a drink. Glue again. We're going to put this bad boy back on, and we're going to do this live. I just want to show you guys this. This is why I like this glue so much. So you put it on, okay? I'm going to shine this light on there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's all I'm doing. That's it. Now, I probably didn't even have to do 10, but we did. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and see that? It comes right off. Shoot. Okay, here we go. Back again. Same thing. We're going to put it on. This time we're going to attempt to do it right. So, I think, there we go. We're going to make sure we got plenty of UV rays. We were on the lower setting. I don't think the UV index was good enough for tanning today, so I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I think my other issue was I didn't do this side as well. So we're going to do both sides. Just like so. Okay, so we were at like 20 seconds. And this fletching is not coming off. I mean, if I went at that with the pliers, I'd probably break the vein instead. So that's why I like this glue. It's really good for patching up stuff, but I just recently started using it for everything, and I really, really like it, except for the fact that, yeah, it always spills. I don't know why. But that is that. And then as you guys can see, it is now 3 degrees left helical on a 3 fletch. That is about as pretty as you can make it. You can see I did a little extra glue, but that's another thing I really like about this glue is that when it dries, it doesn't dry white. It dries clear, so it doesn't look as bad if you do a bad job. So the last step I like to do is I'll come back, and I got this tip from Chris B, so I'm definitely not to credit for this, but it's a phenomenal idea. Just do what he calls tipping and tailing. So just put a little bit of glue right on the front, and we're going to do the back of these fletchings just to help with pass-throughs and going through animals, stuff like that. You know, catching on limbs. This will help not rip a fletching off. So I really like to do this. We're going to go there, there, there. Cure this. If you really watch close, every once in a while you can see like a puff of smoke come off of this. I don't know if that's really because of the heat or just the chemical reaction putting off some fumes that I probably shouldn't breathe in. But it is kind of cool to see it working. And there we go. Now this is close to uncut, right? I seriously just fletched this arrow like, I don't know, 60 seconds ago. I am going to go find a pliers. I'll be right back and we're going to try to pull one of these off. Okay, here we go. These back ones, rock solid as well. Not going anywhere. Oh, that one wasn't. Better give it a fair shake here. 7. Make sure it's hard. Yep. We're going to take this. Oh. As you guys can see, after about 2 minutes of drying, these veins are as stuck as I can ever get them to stay. I mean, that is very impressive glue. So that is how to fletch with the OMP Phoenix jig with a 3-degree left helical, but obviously it's the same process. Same poop, different pile. Same duck, different line, whatever you want to say. If you want to do a right helical, 4-fletch, X-wing fighter, I think is what they call that, 75-105. But hey, that's what we got for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and cheers.